What's up, everybody? Jason Guyman here, and tonight we are going to do a Q&A section for Christmas lights, or I'll talk about pressure washing. I see I got my good friends George Yost in the house, big time in the house. And so we'll talk about questions of that too, but I am excited. I got to go eat some dinner with a good friend of mine down in Evansville, Indiana, and I'll talk a little bit about that coming tonight. But my biggest thing tonight is you ask questions, and I want to answer your questions. So if you have questions, put them in the comments. I've got some things I want to hit on, but my biggest thing is what is success and how people think success is. And I've had some great conversations this week. I've helped people get jobs, I've helped people grow their business. You know, I went and did an in-person job this Friday up at Liberty Township. It's about an hour north of here. It's between here and Dayton, and I did a permanent light job with a person, Mike Lopez, up there. And so tonight, I just want to ask you all questions. You all ask questions, I will answer. But I've had a pretty good week. I've got to talk to some people. I've seen some people posting. I've been poking back and forth at people, and it's just exciting to see people closing jobs. One of the guys that I've taught 2 years ago didn't do Christmas lights last year. He took my class last year. And this year, he's killing it, crushing it. Today, he did a $4,700 job. And it's just neat to see how people are growing these businesses, right? Our friend Carrie has hit $43,000, $45,000. He just started this year. And so it's exciting to see people closing jobs, taking action, and that's what I love helping people do, right? And so tonight we'll talk more about that. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing. We'll talk a little bit about whatever it might be that you have. So if you have questions, definitely put them down in the comments. I want to help you grow your business. Is everyone's legs are tired as mine, Ain't that the truth? You get up on them roofs and ladders and climbing up and down. You work out things that you never realized you worked out. Last week, DJ and I did a house, and my legs were burning, like burning. We were on a 10-12 pitch. Some of it was 12-12, and it's just like, legs are burning. Everything's burning. So definitely it is a great workout for this. So that's where I'm at tonight. My book of the week, I don't really have a book. I'm actually here in my house because I literally just got back. I didn't have time to go to the shop tonight to set everything up. This weekend, we went to Evansville, Indiana. I got to meet with Cloud9 down there with Eric. And today, my daughter is doing IEA horse show down there where we just go down. She rides 2 times and come back. They ride their horses and they come back. And so I literally just got back, so I didn't have time to go down to I didn't have time to go to the shop, so that's why I'm here on the couch again. So that's why I'm here. I don't really have everything set up like I like, but let's get this show rolling, right? I want to bring up a couple things here before we get going here too far. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna hit through some questions. If you got questions, put them in there. I seen some big people in here. I got a question. I got a new 7x14 aluminum trailer with lid floor. Needs advice for floor protection, bed liner, any advice. You can do the bed liner works. The roll-on stuff don't usually work as good as the actual real stuff. You kind of, on the aluminum, I always just left the aluminum. And that is big time in the house. George Yost actually came to a class shoot. That's probably been 4 or 5 years ago down in Raleigh, North Carolina. We got Zach in the house. Zach McCall, how are you doing tonight? It is great seeing you here on the live tonight. Let's see who else we got here. We have Lakeside Exterior. When do you stop scheduling lighting? Southwest Michigan here. A lot of times it's about December 5th through 10th will be when it goes straight down. That's typically when it really slows down really, really fast. You may get a straggler December 15th, December 24th. I've installed on the 23rd before. I know people that have installed on the 24th before. But typically, you're going to see it nosedive pretty quick. So I would say, being that Thanksgiving is late this year, you're probably going to see it the week after that Thanksgiving, and that's going to be done. Because the week after Thanksgiving is the first. I think Sunday or Monday is the first, and I'd say you'll be lucky to get some people in that week, and it is going to be done. It'll drop down pretty fast. So usually anywhere between December 5th and 10th is typically when you're going to be done with Christmas lights. We got Corey, what's up? A tip for a guy who has never done lights before. Any suggestions on quick and easy to get it up and going? Yeah, so watch lots of videos, learn how to do it. And if you buy the starter pack, the 1,000-foot starter pack from ChristmasLights.io, I did an in-person virtual training. And if you do that and you send me a message, I will send it to you. And that's way you can know how to install properly and get things done safely and not have someone trying to do something crazy. So that's what I would say with that. Is everyone's legs feeling tired? I've only got one call in 5 years for Christmas lights. Well, what did you do to get that one call? 417 installs so far, and that's from Daniel. There might be some more reference behind that. So 417 installs with 2 crews and a half. So that's pretty impressive, which Daniel is pretty impressive. Just sold a $10,600 holiday lighting. Just did our first holiday lighting 2 weeks ago. Well, that is awesome. Congratulations. That's amazing, dude. Amazing. I'm at 100% close rate so far. 3 customers total using AI to make ad content. Ordering my first lights for customers. Good. Just make sure you're charging $8 to $12 a foot, so that way you'll be able to have money to make money. Somebody messaging me here. What's going on here? Ethan can wait. 175 for the first 50 feet, then $6 to $7 a foot. So yeah, raise those prices. Just start off at $8 to $12 a foot, and then you'll thank me later. I promise you'll thank me later. Closed $3,000 yesterday. First year in business. That's awesome, Christopher. Awesome. Congratulations. 417 installs for the season. What are you doing for marketing? He's doing all kinds of things. He's doing a little bit of Facebook ads. He just put out some signs, he did some SEO stuff and website stuff, and got his Google reviews, and he has called people, and he has called people in March and April and May and June and July and August and September, and not just 1 or 2 people a day, but 10, 20 a day. And guess what? It adds up, because what you water grows. What you focus on grows. Some weeks I feel burnt out and don't want to watch, but do it anyway and end up learning more than anticipated. Yep. I struggle with estimating. I've learned to generate leads, but I struggle to get everyone fast balancing everything. Yeah, and it can take some time to learn this. It definitely is important that you figure this out. Some people you can, once you start looking at these things, you can kind of see, what the pricing is. It's not always about the footage. I know I kind of teach, going off of footage, but at some point it's just, what, that's $1,500 and the ridge is $2,500, and we can put the garland on there in the door, and that's $3,000 or $3,300. We can do this on Thursday or Friday, and it's only $3,300, right? Give me a deposit. So you just kind of got to learn getting it done. They called and asked if I did it. I told them no because I was scared. I understand that. That's definitely something that we can do. All right. So I had a conversation, and if you all have questions, definitely put them down in the comments. I will get to them here. I want to kind of hit on a little thing here today. So I've talked a lot about price. And I've seen a lot of comments in the groups about, you're crazy, you can't get that much. And at the end of the day, it's mindset. Those people will never get more than that because that's all they believe. One, that's what they were taught, and two, that's what they believe. And so one reason why Daniel's at where he's at is because I taught him the $8 to $12 a foot. And he didn't stop at $12 a foot. There's jobs he's getting $14 and $16 a foot. And so as I've learned and as I've helped people grow their business, a lot of it has to do with up here in the mindset. And this is why I say it's so important of what we need to do, right? My sweatshirt says decide and do. And this is what I want to hit on. You have to decide that you're going to sell it at $8 to $10 a foot, and then you got to go do it. And so one of the guys in the group posted a picture of something, and he had asked a question. And this was the comment that he put up in here, if it will come in here. Last year, we were struggling to get $7 a foot. This year, we're getting $10 to $15 a foot. I asked a question. I said, what changed? Because most people would have came back and told me, Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get that in my area. Last year, he was struggling to get $7 a foot. This year, he's getting $10 to $15 a foot. What changed? Did the location change? Nope, the location didn't change. He's still selling in that same area. But Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get that in my area. There's only cheap people in my area. And that's what you believe. And if that's what you believe, instead of being like Kivo, right? I hired a sales team that are killers at sales and professional online presence on social media with targeted Facebook ads to 200,000 plus income homes. So what did Kivo do here? He didn't go for the poor people, right? This is why he found people that can afford $10 to $15 a foot. Because at the end of the day, this is a luxury service. Whether you like this or not, Christmas lights is a luxury service. Christmas light installation is not for everyone. Here's the thing. You can find people that want to do it for a nonprofit business. And these nonprofit businesses are going out of business. Just before I jumped on here, there was a guy showing a whole tub of incandescent lights. And they didn't put incandescent lights on the house because the customer wanted incandescent lights. They did it because it was cheap. And they were able to buy these Christmas lights for 79 cents for all in. The wire, the clips, the bulbs, and we're going to burn this freaking house down. But by God, we got 79 cents. We charged $2 a foot. I made $1 a foot. I made $2 a foot. I made $6 a foot. I sold it at $6 a foot. I made $4 a foot. And they don't come back and take down the lights. And they don't do what they need to do. Their website looks like crap. Their guys look like crap. They have 0 reviews. They have 0 online social media. That is why they sell at $4 to $6 a foot. That's why Kivo was struggling last year at $7 a foot. But now he changed his sales. He changed who he was shooting for. And guess what? He's closing jobs at $10 to $15 a foot. Now, let's put it this way. Daniel said he did 431 jobs. 1,700 jobs this far, with an average ticket over $2,000. Now, I know there's other people out there that have done less jobs than that, and it's taken a lot more time because they cheap. They cheap. They believe that in my area, Jason, you can't get that. And when you have that belief, you are 100% correct. 1,000% correct. Is there people in Daniel's area that are at $6 a foot and that will tell me, Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get that in Northern Virginia. And I will tell them, but you can. 1, you have to believe in yourself. 2, you got to quit paying out of your wallet, right? Well, Jason, I would never pay that. That's just ripping people. I cannot believe you would charge that much. It's like I've said. Do you make $200,000 a year? Do you? Not your business make $200,000. You personally bring home $200,000 a year. Like you have it in your pocket. Like you pay taxes. You got a W-2 that gives you $200,000 a year. Do you live in a $500,000-$700,000 house that you're paying $7-10 a month? Do you drive the 2 Mercedes that you're driving back and forth to work? Or the 1 Tesla and the 1 Mercedes that you're paying $3,000-$4,000 a month in car payments? Are you sending your kid to the $50,000 school a year? Are you buying the Louis Vuitton, the purses that cost $5,000, $10,000? So quit paying out of your wallet. Quit believing, because see, this is who we're selling the magic to. You know, that $5,000 purse does the exact same thing as the $20 purse. You put crap in it and you pull it and you hold it and it goes from one place to the other. One has a logo on it that makes it $5,000. And when all the tariff stuff come, we found out they're all made in China anyway. So what are you doing and why are you not putting your logo on it that makes you $5,000 instead of $50? So start thinking different. And that's what I want you to do. That's why I preach this so much. You know, my good friend Kerry, he started this business. His goal was to do $15,000. His like a big stretch goal was to do $30,000. Like if he would have done $30,000 this year, he would have been tickled pink. And he's at $45,000 right now and growing. Because that is what you do, right? You change this, it changes everything. You believe in yourself. You do the things. You know, I was talking to another person and he's doing gutter cleaning. And he cleaned his gutters and he cleaned them last year. And it was $650 to clean out the gutters and blow off the roof. He was there he made it 45 minutes, but he could have been done in 30 minutes. And they paid him last year and they're paying him again this year. Stop thinking what you would or wouldn't pay. And that's all I want to hit on this here, right? That's the reason why I brought this up. Well, Jason, you just don't understand. You know, I love Houston market. I love the Dallas market because those are the two I hear all the time. And I've got people in Dallas that are charging premium. I've got people in other places that are charging premium, right? So you're telling me that Houston has Houston, and I'm going to hit on Houston, right? Houston, you can only get $6, $6.50 a foot. But you're telling me that Houston, there's over like 6 or 8 million people live in Houston, and you can't find 500 people to pay you $2,000 and not do everything and charge $8 to $10 a foot. I'm going to say you're freaking crazy. And if you can't, it's because that's what you believe, and that's what you push, and that's what you sell. And that's the difference. Because when you show up and you have nice wrapped vehicles and you don't look like some blob getting out, that's the difference. When you have nice shirts on and they have nice pants and they don't look like some person that just got out of jail, that's the difference. So what are you doing? Or do you have a professional looking website that sets you apart? Do you have 50 5-star reviews? Do you have 200 5-star reviews? That set you apart. These are the things that set you apart so that you can charge premium. And when you charge premium, you can pay for ads, you can pay for better employees, you can have safetier equipment so that your employees stay safe on these jobs. Because that right there is more important than anything else. All right, I'm off of my kick. What's your all's question? Put them down in the comments. I'll go through my questions here, see what all we got here, and we'll go from there. I'm getting up to $6 so far, and I thought I'd see a close rate drop, but I didn't. So why are we not just going to 8, right? Just pull the Band-Aid off. Quit thinking paying with your wallet. Start paying with their wallet. Oh, how do you follow up on a customer who committed but didn't pay the deposit yet, which gets them on the schedule? So they're not committed yet. So you reach out and you need to make sure they understand how to get on the schedule. You know, that's something that you may need to send them a text or an email or a both or a phone call. Calculating my cost for a house isn't the issue much, but it's putting together a formal estimate for them on paper and making them a mock-up to stand out from the competitors. Or does it matter? It is the little things that set you apart. But even the estimate, right? I talk about Jobber. Put in your template that all your stuff in your template, and all you need to do is just put the price in it. So that way you put the price in it, you can add what they want or don't want, and you can go from there. You can make it super simple, or you can overcomplicate the crap out of it. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. Christmaslights.io/jobber. That'll give you a discount and you can try it out for a couple weeks and see if you like it. But again, it is important that we give them the line items, we give them everything, and this is how we get our average tickets up, and it just makes everything better in the end. But the biggest thing is do mock-ups make a difference? I know people that do mock-ups and they're amazing. I know people that don't do mock-ups at all. I know people that use just a photo on their phone and they just, do a line here and a line there. Pick what works for you and go after it. I will say, though, the people that I do know that are getting higher average tickets typically have a really good mock-up. And once you learn how to do mock-ups, you can do them in about 5 to 10 minutes and just get them done. Don't overthink it. Just get it done. Discouraging week. I've sent out $50,000 in quotes since 10/1. Only closed $8,000. Getting lots of sticker shock. Leads have slowed. Shifting to a more affluent area further away. I'm not doing $4 a foot. And some of it is it's a numbers game, right? It is a numbers game. Because even out of that $50,000 quotes, how many quotes did you send? How much have we followed up on it? Were those the right customers? All of those things become factors of knowing who is your customer and how do we get this done. My legs are beat. He just did a job today. It might have been your first job today. He had a question and sent me a message, and I helped him out, walked him through it. Don't feel bad, Brian. I've had a few call me back and say they got quotes for a third of my price and went with them, even though they said my mock-ups and my presentation seemed extremely professional. And some of it is what are you saying? How are you approaching it? Are you trying to close the job? How is your sales process? It's kind of like Kiva, right? His first one was $7 a foot and was struggling, got a good sales team, and bam, that's what he started closing 10 to 15,000. $700,000 homes took all I had to say, I'll call me next year when he comes, doesn't answer his phone. Yep, exactly. Competitors will lowball themselves, but they make no money. Each job should have a minimum of at least $600 or more. Hi, Jason. Hi, Rebecca. I am getting $6 a foot in Idaho, and I know I'm under the market my first year, so building clientele. It's not about clients. Everybody thinks that I need to get 20, 100 clients. It is not about clients. I know you don't want 100 people if you're only making $1,000 because you're only making 100 grand. I would much rather have 50 customers paying me 2 grand and I'm at 100 grand because that's what it's about. It is not about doing cheap customers. I know I have people on here that was $4 a foot and they've raised it to 6 and they've raised it to 7. And the only thing different is what I got him the thinking up here in his head. And he needs to be at $8 a foot. Go. Quit overthinking things because we think things so much that, they won't pay that. And when we believe that they won't pay it because we're literally speaking it into existence. And that's why it is important that we don't do that. Yes, I do. Hopefully we get those 2,000 stimulus checks this week. That drives it. And here's some other thing is we will see things start booking up if you've been doing your marketing because A lot of people, it's getting closer to Thanksgiving. We're not that far out, and that's what it is. Need to the industry, new to the industry. My husband is a roofer with 14 years of experience, 3 years of Christmas light experience. We haven't bought no materials. I have 5 people who want quotes. I don't know how to quote. I've got lots of videos on here about quoting. If you go to christmaslights.io/measure, I actually have quite a bit of videos on how to measure it and how to quote it. So typically, we are going to be the $8 to $10 a foot on roof lines, stuff like that. We will be at anywhere from $30 to $60 per strand for bushes. For trees, we do it off of the height of the tree, so we're going to do that. The roof line, typically the base package is going to be just the front of the house, the front gutter lines and the peaks. Then we can add the ridge line. That can be help to add to get footage. So that way, instead of just 120 feet of C9s, we can do 200 feet. So this is a way that we go from, 1,700 to 2,000 or more than that, right? And so these are all things that we can do to help raise our prices and get our average ticket up for them. And that's how you can do that. And again, christmaslights.io, we have the Christmas light packages. And if you do the 1,000-foot packages or more, I will send you my training that I go in detail on how to bid everything. I go in detail on how to sell. I go in detail how to install. And so I go in detail of everything for you to do that. Do you ever install lights on the moon? And the answer is no, I've never installed lights on the moon. So do you ever install lights on the roof valley? Sorry, Sal. I just had to have a fun one there. You can. I don't recommend it typically. It's not something that I would probably do. I don't recommend doing that. A lot of times, because if it snows, a lot of times that's where that snow's going, all the water's going down in there, and it can cost you a lot more in the end. Rebecca, material cost times 3 times labor plus tax. And sometimes you have to pay tax, sometimes you don't. Really depends on the state. I don't know if I really agree on the 3 times plus labor. I would say that I would be at the $8 to $12 a foot. And again, some places you have to pay tax, some places you don't have to pay tax. If you do have to pay tax, you can get your reseller license, so then that way you can be tax exempt. So when you buy material from me, I don't have to charge you tax because you're charging tax on the end of it. So then that way you can get your materials 6-7% cheaper, because now you're not paying, they're getting double taxed at that point. So just a heads up on that. If you do have to pay tax, and it depends on your location, like every state is different, and some people say different on how they do it. I'm in year 3, only a handful of clients, and I'm at $850. Wondering what am I doing wrong? What are you doing for marketing? Do you have your Google business profile set up for Christmas lights, or is it S&S cleaning? Do you have 100+ photos on there? Do you have, are you posting in your Google business profile at least at this point once a day? Do you have a Christmas light website? Not your other business website. Do you have a Christmas light website? Does it look professional? Are you adding more to it? These are all things that we need to look at to make this happen, right? Do you have your Facebook up? Are you posting in groups? Are you engaging? Do you have your personal page up, and are you using it? Are you posting in there, not just about Christmas lights, not just about the cleaning business? Are we building relationships? Do you have 5,000 followers because yes, or friends because that's all you're allowed to have? Or do you only have 10? Are you posting in the groups of the local neighborhood groups? If you're a female, are you posting in the mom groups? Are you doing Facebook ads or Google ads? What are you doing to grow this business? Because if we just want to hope and pray, ain't going to grow this business. You know, we talk about Daniel, but Daniel puts in a lot of time. Like, he gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning and starts working on Christmas lights. And he keeps working on Christmas lights till 2 o'clock in the morning. And he does that day in and day after. And he's making videos. He's calling businesses. He's doing all of that stuff. And he ain't just doing it now in the Christmas light season, right? He's been doing it for a while. Kerry started this business in August. He came to my class in August, July or August. And he started posting on he started a Christmas light business Facebook page. And he started posting in it. And within a couple weeks, he had over 100,000 views on his Christmas page. How many views do you have? If you're not doing this, then you can't be like, why are these people? Because they're marketing. Are you putting out 200 yard signs a week? Or are we only putting 20 yard signs out? Are we putting out no yard signs? Are we doing door hanging? So my friend Mike up in Ohio, right? His wife come out there and was kind of getting on him too because he bought 200 yard signs. But guess what? He's only got 50 or 75 put out, or maybe not even that many. Because do you really want to grow a business or do you not? Are you doing the things you need to do or are you not? Are you wanting it? Are you wanting and hoping to get this done, or are you taking action? Because it's two different things. If we take action, things are going to happen. If you're not getting business and you're not doing anything, you need to be posting. You can go out door knocking. You can be like my friend Eric and went out and door knocked and got hundreds of clients by door knocking, hiring door knockers. You know, my friend Eric growing a business, right? And these are the things that are going to set you apart, or we can sit there and hope. And hope gets us nowhere. But Jason, I don't like doing videos. Do you like making money, or do you not like making money? Do we want to hope because I don't like to make videos? Or am I going to take action and make that sucky video that's going to get out there and make you money? And it's only going to suck to you. Somebody might watch your video and they're going to take action. And when they do, it's going to take action and make it happen. And that's the difference in this business. We have to take action in this business. We can hope and want all we want, but it ain't never going to get us business in the end, right? So this is why it is important that we take action, because we can hope, but it don't matter. How do you pay with their wallet? You get charged $8 to $12 a foot. That's how you pay. You change your mindset. You have to have lead flow to be able to charge $8 a foot. People are only getting a few leads a week. That's why they're not charging those prices. So that's a mindset. Why are they only getting a few leads? Because, Jason, I went out and put out 10 yard signs, and my phone's not ringing. Jason, I posted 2 times, and I got 2 leads, and I haven't posted since then. Jason, I posted 2 times a day like you said. I said post 8 to 10 times a day, not 1 or 2 times a day. I didn't say post in 1 group a week. I said to post in 10, 15 groups a week. So you're right. If you're not taking action, don't sit there and lower your price and try to do that, because that's the dumbest thing ever. you're never going to make money and you're never going to grow a business. Because you know what happens when you start doing these things and you start spending money on Facebook ads and you start getting leads? You start getting customers. And you know what happens when you get good customers? They refer you to other good customers. You know, we did a permanent light job, and the customer's like, yeah, I'm going to put it in the neighborhood group. I already put it in there last night, and tonight I'm going to put it again with the pictures in it. That is what makes it better. It's not about going and doing cheap houses. You know, I love people when they're like, man, this house here is really good. I'm going to go put lights on this house for free. And then they want to go cheap on it. If you're going to do a house for free or next to nothing, make that thing look amazing. Like, make that thing pop. At least make it look good for your marketing. Otherwise, don't do it. You're wasting your time. Thanks for answering. Thanks for answering, man. You saved the day. Hey, I'm here to help you, man. I always say, if you buy from me or whatever, I'm here to help you. I'll help you in any which way I can to help you grow your business. You know, that's what it's all about. I want to see you successful. I want to be the next Daniel. I use ChatGPT to do as many mock-ups by uploading pics till I couldn't on the free version. I just send the customer those pics to give them a reference. It's worked every time so far, and it's fun. You can also use Gemini, too, as another good tool to do that. What's an extra thing we can do to minimize issues with magnet clips on C9s on the metal edge? I already had my first issue with fault lights falling off. Go and get binder clips for like papers, binder clips, and put them on every 5 to 10 feet, and that'll help you from falling off. And you might even be able to do them further than that. Anyone else in here having trouble closing new jobs this year? What are you selling? You selling bulbs? You selling magic? Are you selling memories? Do you know why they want Christmas lights? If you don't know why your customer wants Christmas lights, how can you sell them? That's my first question. Why do they want Christmas lights? Are they having a party coming up? Are they having their kids come home? Are they having their grandkids there for the first time? Do they remember something as a kid that they remember as a good memory that they want to recreate? Is it because Bob next door outdoes them every year and they want to outdo them this year? Why do they want Christmas lights? Why? Because if we don't know the why, then how can we sell to them? Because if I know the why, that is their grandkids are coming this year and they haven't been here in 2 years, man, can you imagine what their face is going to look like, Granny, when they get here? What's his name? Timmy? Oh, yeah, when Timmy gets here, he's going to be so excited. He's going to be jumping up and down. He's going to be amazed. That's the difference of selling magic and memories versus selling, we have C9 bulbs. Our bulbs are bright. We put them on the peak. We make them fit to the house. We have, well, maybe, do we have insurance? Let's see, this week. Do we have insurance this week, Bob? Well, I don't know. Right? We're confident in it. We're selling the magic. We're believing in it. We believe it more. We're more excited than they are. You got to be excited for this stuff. Like, you have to be excited. If you are not excited, then they're not going to be excited. You have to be excited. You have to be excited on the phone. You have to be excited when you're in person. You wearing the gear, the hat, the bulbs. Like, you're excited. And when you're excited, man, they get excited. And that's what you want to do. right? You got to get excited. Because if you're not excited, they're not going to be excited. They don't care about Christmas lights if you don't care about Christmas lights. But if you're excited and you know why they want Christmas lights, you know that they're having a big company party here and they're having all their friends over, guess what? That's what's going to happen. And that's why we sell the magic. That's why we sell what we do. Let's see. We do mock-ups, but brand professional appearance, wrap trucks, strong social media presence, and lots of Google reviews. And people want to use us before they even show up. You know, this here is huge because you've given the information, you've answered their questions, you look professional. You know, did you know the number one concern with females? Did you know, first off, 70% of your customers are typically female? What's the number one concern about a female? Security and safety. And so if you don't have pictures of your guys and you don't have pictures of your trucks and what you look like, their number one need and concern is security, they're not going to hire you. And if they don't know, like, and trust you, they're definitely not going to hire you. And so this is why we go out there and we do, and you do, as I'm telling you, to go out there and get this done, right? This is why we do that. Still learning that the magic I'm offering an option for more lights, but not taking on add-ons. My computer jumping around again. Yes, I do. I'm getting. Oh, here we go. I gotta go back down here to the bottom. Hey, Jason, does it matter which side the rib side goes to on the males? And the answer is no, it doesn't. I know I've been getting this question a lot. I've put on thousands of males and females. I know other people have put on thousands of males and females, and they work just fine. And if there is ever an issue, typically it's not the male or female. If it is, it's not because it's polarized. It's because there's water in it. It's because there's a wire there. It can be the wire itself. And so these are all things that we can do. Wow, I get up 6 a.m. with 4 kids. That's a lot. That's a job in itself as being a mother. And it's an awesome job. Love these. Learned so much from this guy. Average ticket is 5 to 600. Not discouraged one bit. I love the fact that I'm able to be an entrepreneur. It's my first year and just proud to be so far. It's a good start. Do you provide a mentorship, and cost? I do have a mentorship, and it is, I think it's Christmas Lights. Well, my membership is christmaslights.io/sp, and it's $149 a month, and that comes with the website, and it comes with our Monday night call, and that's pretty much it. And then I have a mentorship. I believe it's christmaslights.io/mentorship. And it's a little bit more, and then you get Zoom calls with me. You get Marco Polo, so it's a conversation that you can talk to me, and it's all kinds of stuff. West Bridges we done 60,000 already. That's pretty awesome. Can you recommend a good marketing person for social media because there are so many people promoting it, but no one keeps their promises. You know, this is a sad part right here. Like, I don't have anybody that I would be like, this is who I recommend. I have a couple people that I'm like, they do well for some people and don't do well for others. And so it is something that I don't promote very much of who one person because I just don't promote it. It's because I've seen people get burnt. You know, I had a guy 2 weeks ago that lost 10 grand in 6 months. Oh, and he got one lead basically. And so it is definitely something that I don't like. This is why I went all in on learning how to do marketing myself because I spent 4 grand on a website and SEO, and they told me this phone was going to blow up, and it didn't. So that's why I went and spent a bunch of money on my own self and learned how to do it my own self versus someone else doing it. When is a good time to when is a good time and day to post Christmas light services on social media? Every day, and about 4 to 5 times a day. Hey Jason, does it matter which side of the rib? I already answered that. I get a few leads a day. I'm going to buy another 500 pack soon, boss. That's awesome. How do you use AI for Christmas light quotes? You can put it. You can take a picture, put it in there, and say, "Hey, put light C9 professional lights," or you can take a picture that has them and say, "Hey, this is what I want on this picture here." What's the best way to hold the extension cord from one jump to the next vertical? I just take the clips and I'll shove it behind the gutter or clip it onto the vinyl siding or do something along those lines to help keep it there. What's the best way to mark lights? The easiest for installs next year? I kind of do a simple system. I know some people like to get really complex. I do pretty simple. So I'll do one red zip tie on the right hand side because red right, easy to remember. The one zip tie, so that's on the first floor. And if it has 2 floors, then I'll put 2 zip ties on the second zip floor. So that tells me on the red right, over here on the right hand side, one zip tie is the first floor, 2 red zip ties the second floor. And then if you want to do dormers, you can make that a certain color. And then, hey, dormer 1 gets 1, dormer 2 gets 2, dormer 3. So then that way you can kind of know where everything sits at there. And no siding the tuck under. Again, so we have a lot of gutters here. So I know sometimes people don't always have gutters. So if you don't have a lot of gutters, then you may have to glue it or stick it somewhere so that it can be done. But I don't recommend it. But sometimes I understand that you don't always have gutters. Been getting leads for Gobi lights. You and everybody else. We'll be doing our first install Friday. Pretty nervous about, but excited. Yeah, good luck. Where can we buy oversized items? I say don't sell them, but if you do, there's, to be honest, if you're buying like big tree, it's a difference. One, you got to be able to store this stuff. So that's the other issue. So that's one of the other problems that you got to do. Brother, I need 100-foot lit wreaths by tomorrow. 2-foot wreaths. That's a lot. And I don't know about tomorrow. I could probably get them to you on Wednesday or Thursday. Got a grandma with grandkids coming in from South Dakota. Can't get her to pull the trigger on $1,000 job. Why not? Are you using the grandkids? Do you know the grandkids' names? That's what we're hitting on. Spitting facts. So true. Got to lock your good for the women. So true. Got to look good for the women. 100%. In my area, $4 a foot first year, did $20,000 last year, cleared $30,000 this year profit. you did not clear $30,000 in profit at $4 a foot because you have callbacks, you have, if you have your cell phone, you have insurance, you have gas, you have business. You probably don't have insurance then if you're not paying that. If you did, you're paying insurance. You're paying, if you have workers, you need workers' comp. You are not clearing profiting $33,000. And if you are, again, like I said, there's a lot of other costs that people don't realize and put into play. And so when people tell me that crap, these are also the same people typically that go out of business because they buy crappy lights, they buy incandescent lights, they're not being safe, and one fall is pretty much the end of them. And that's the problem with people that want to go cheap. Jason, how would you recommend to put lights on stucco? Don't. And I know a lot of people out in Arizona have to because they don't even have gutters, they just go over. And at that point, you just got to be careful. You know, you're going to glue stuff up there. I know some people will glue like a piece of metal so then they can put magnets on them so then they can do the magnet clips year after year. So then that way the metal just stays up there, but then, you know, that can cause rust, cause other issues. So you just kind of got to be careful with it. Do you do wholesale discount? Christmas is currently beating your website. I can't find it on your website. I do not, but I bet we beat them on shipping, and I bet we beat them on free shipping. So that's the things that you do have to calculate in. Yes, you might get a better price, but you get better customer service here, quick, fast shipping, ships the same day. You know, I've heard people paying $300, $400, $500 in shipping, and you get free shipping. So anything over $300, $400, you get free shipping. Again, we ship the same day, and it is super, super fast. I did one ad on Yelp for 2 weeks, and my phone flooded with ad agents. Don't do ad agents, right? What company did you use? I'd rather spend on me to gain more knowledge. I've just learned through different ones. Like I've been to many seminars. I've done lots of classes, lots of AI classes. You know, I've just done a lot. It's for outside Christmas party outside. How do you keep going when you feel like quitting? You know, this is a great question. This is a great question because I've known you're not the first one to say this question right here. I've had several people. And honestly, you know, it is just take a break. Take a day off, give your phone to somebody else, and take a break. Because, and just remember, we only got 20 more days. And you can do anything for 20 days. So this is something that I know that it gets, you know, I always, I remember, right? At the beginning of the year, you do pressure washing. And by the time August, September comes in, you're done pressure washing, you're sick of it. And then Christmas light comes. And by the time Christmas light is over, by the time this Christmas light, by usually November, you are done with Christmas lights. You don't want to see another Christmas light. You are done. And then here comes January, and you take them all down, and you're done. But then you're like, well, now what I do? And then we go back to pressure washing. And so it's always been a cycle. And, you know, you hate Christmas lights come about December 1st or December 10th, and you're about done with them. And then it comes back around, and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to make that money. That's what it is. I got to support my family for the rest of the year on 4 months. So just remember, you can get through it. You just got to push through, raise your prices, and just keep moving. What kind of glue do you use on stucco? I wouldn't use any type of glue, honestly, on stucco. Because you're going, like I said, I know in Phoenix, like Arizona, in certain places, the whole house is stucco, even on the roof, and that's where you would do the magnets or whatnot. But um, I wouldn't, because when you go to pull it down, you're going to pull the stucco off, and then you're going to have damage on it. Um, so, but yeah, again, as you grow this business, and that's the thing too, is does it matter what side the rib side goes in on the male side? Someone already asked, but I wasn't here to hear it. And the answer is, I know people that are sticklers about it, and I know lots of people that don't care about it at all, and it doesn't matter. So here's the deal. When it was incandescent, it didn't matter much. You didn't need to do it that way. When LEDs first came out, so an LED is a light emitting diode. What is a light emitting diode? What is a diode? A diode is a one-way check valve for electricity. It allows electricity to go one way, but it doesn't come back the other way. And when it allows the electricity to go the one way, it will light up the light, right? So it's a light emitting diode. And so what happens is, and when the LEDs first came out, it did matter a lot. Like if you didn't do it, the LED wouldn't come on because it was a one-way check valve, right? But now in the bulb itself, it makes sure that the electric goes the right way. And so it doesn't matter if you do it one way or the other, right? If you sit there and feel it or don't. This question's come up so many times here recently, and people are like, man, I didn't know that. You're going to save me so much time. And so, again, I know people that do it, they're sticklers on it. Is it one thing that might save you one time? Sure. But 99% of the time, it does not matter. It does not matter if you do it or not. I've seen it both ways. It does not matter. Best way to find leads, get out there after it. I know people that do Facebook ads. I know people that work the groups. I know people that put out the signs. In my honest opinion, the easiest and best way that I've seen that I can get people leads no matter where they live at, unless one thing, but is yard signs. Yard signs, yard signs, yard signs. Like, I can give you people that have made $100,000 off of yard signs. You go put out 1,000 yard signs and you'll make $100,000 off of it. Yard signs work amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. They're one of the best things I've ever seen is yard signs. It's something that you put them out and they grow money, right? Put them out on a Friday. Like this Friday, put them out. They'll stick around till Monday and they make you a ton of money. And this is what I would tell you. It's November 16th. Between now and the end of this month, if I had to do something to make some money, I'd put out 400 yard signs in the next 2 weeks. Like, there would be a yard sign everywhere. And yes, they get pulled sometimes. They get pulled the same day. And so you find places where to put them. And people always ask, where do I put them at? I put them everywhere. I put them at subdivisions. I put them at the schools. I put them at busy intersections. I put them things everywhere. I put them at the hospitals. I'll go where the doctors are driving in, put them there. We're going to put them bad boys everywhere. We're going to put them everywhere. They're going to go everywhere because they work. They're one of the best things that it doesn't matter. Only time they don't work is if you not threaten to get fined, if you get fined. And a lot of times you'll get threatened to get fined, but very rarely I know people that have actually gotten fined. And sometimes it's worth paying the fines. I know people that paid a couple $100 a week in fines because it was making more money than the couple $100 that they were getting fined for them. So again, it's what you want to do. My goal for the next 20 days is 10 customers. I've got next week to try. Let's go. Get it done. What are you going to do to get those? Not just have a goal. What is going to be your plan of attack to get that? Are you going to put out signs? Are you going to post in Facebook groups? Are you going to post in Nextdoor? Are you going to spend money on Facebook ads? What are you going to do to get those 10 customers? Because we can have a goal, but if we don't have a way of getting to that goal, that's just hope, and hope ain't going to get us there. Are you going to put out 200 yard signs to get that? What are you going to do to get those 10 customers? So no glue on stucco and no metal on the roof line. How do you put lights up? It's tough. Can't afford the signs, going D to D instead. That works. How many doors are you going to knock? Here's some tips. Put you on some Christmas lights, get the blinky ones. Put you on a Santa hat. Put on some Santa stuff. Maybe put the Grinch suit on. Go have fun with it. Right? Go have fun with it. But door to door will work. Go find the neighborhoods that you need to door knock. Go look up the EDDEM tool and find the top 5 zip codes in your area. That's what you need to do. Don't go to the poor people. Go find the neighborhoods of $500 to $1 million houses. And go find those people. They typically might be. Now, it depends on where your location is. But that's most of them where you're at. Do you know the best place to get yard signs and door hangers? So typically I say moneybushes.com, but I've heard they're 2 weeks out. Usually marketing is 2 weeks out. I know there's a guy, Steve, in the group, in the Christmas light group. He's typically 2 to 3 days out, I believe. And he does the nicer signs, and he's also done the cheaper signs too. And so if you look up Steve, he does yard signs. What's it called? Frisch, something like that. With WCR Marketing. And he can get them with you within 2 to 3 days, I believe. So that's where I would do my yard sign. Is it too late to do yard signs? If you can get them before next week, no. Because you want to put out as many as you can next week. Because next week is the week that everybody's thinking, oh crap, it's Thanksgiving and I want my lights up this week. Typically, I always tell people to leave that week wide open as much as you can because you will fill it up. People want it done before Thanksgiving. And so I would put out 200 to 300 yard signs next week. Between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week, I'd put out 200 to 300 because that's the week before Thanksgiving. I ordered 50 yard signs, but they are not coming in until Thanksgiving. Should I still put them out? I would. I mean, they're not going to do you no good if you're not going to use them. And you may get somebody. One person is going to pay for them all. So I would definitely do them at that point. I would not do Yelp ad. I got one job over 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know what you paid for the one job, but I probably wouldn't do Yelp ads. I would do Facebook ads if I was going to do anything. What magnetic clips would you recommend? I mean, I've got the two on. You can do the plastic clip or you can do the Lightnetics. I have both of them, christmaslights.io/magnets. And you can go there. That's what I did. I actually did it on my shop. I put the magnets on it, and they work great, quick, fast, easy, and it looks good. Again, if you need Christmas lights, go check out christmaslights.io. I am planning on. I don't have the page up. I don't think yet. This Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do a Zoom call. I did one last week, and we got lots of questions, and I want to do another one this week. So if you would like to join that, I don't remember what the link is, but actually, you know what? I can get the link. It's on top of here. I will put it in here. If you want to join this Zoom call, I know this one is for last week, and so, but it'll be the same link for this one too. So I will put this up here for you so that way you can get this. If you want to come to this Zoom call and um, you want to ask questions and you want to get your questions answered, I'm going to kind of go over other things too of the basics because I've been getting a lot of the basics. So if you want to go check out this Zoom call, I know it's got a whole lot of stuff in here, but if you want to go check it out and sign up, we will send a link out for you. It's a great time. Last time there was about 30 or 40 people on it, and people were asking different questions, and were able to, give their thoughts, and we were able to help them with their business. So, ever done door hangers got 1,000 in next week, coming in next week. Door hangers work. You just find the right neighborhoods, and they will work great for you. So, they do work good too. Again, if you need Christmas lights, go to christmaslights.io. If you take the S off, it'll take you right to the page. We have packages, we have males, females, all the stuff you need in there, all the different colors, everything that you need. So, with that, you all have an amazing week this week. This is the week that these 2 weeks coming up, this week and next week, make sure you're answering the phone. You can put out all the marketing you do, you can put out all the yard signs. If you don't answer the phone, you might as well just forget it because it ain't going to work. So answer your phone, get the stuff done, get the quotes out fast. The speed to lead is key for Christmas lights. Don't let it sit there and be like, I'm going to get it to you tonight. I understand we're up on roofs. I understand that we don't always have time to do it, but we need to get this quote out as fast as we can. If we can get it out within 20 minutes, that feeling and emotion is still there. We can get it closed a lot quicker than I've seen people that be like, I've got leads from 3 days ago. Well, let me tell you something. Those leads from 3 days ago are not going to be any good, right? You might as well just throw those leads away. So again, take action, get this stuff done. Like, answer that phone, get that quoted out to them quick, because the quicker you get it quoted out to you, the more jobs you'll get. So with that, go be great this week and make things happen, and I'll see you all later.